and McLeod. I hope this Sendejo pickup will help them. I think it will. But the fact that they're going to be healthy this year, okay? I don't like losing Haloti Ngata and Jordan Hicks. I think that's going to hurt the run. And I'm not sure if they replaced it enough with Malik Jackson and LJ Ford. I think they definitely lost there against the run. And that's going to be tough against guys like Ezekiel Elliott, Adrian Peterson, and obviously the Giants, with Saquon Barkley. But anyways, the Eagles are still the Eagles. Great coach. They have that medium easy schedule. And I think there's a very good chance they're going to be in the playoffs. So, it just depends upon Carson Wentz. He's going to be under pressure this year. He got rid of Foles, but, he's got a bad back. I think he's had 2 back surgeries. So if he goes down, it's all up to the rookie from Northwestern that they drafted, Clayton Thorson. So my win total is 8.8, and here's how I got to it. They had 9 wins last year, 8.63 on Pythag, so that's 8.8. I didn't dock them or give them anything for injuries because their defense was a little bit banged up in the secondary, but their offense was very healthy throughout the season. So Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, those guys were pretty much carrying the team. I didn't think the Jay Ajayi injury did all that much because I thought Adams was a very good running back for them and Smallwood. I think that was fine. I mean, they cut Jay Ajayi anyways. So Mike Wallace was injured all year on offense. He left, but he's not a factor. So I didn't really give them anything back for being injured. But either way, I have them at a medium schedule last year. So I'm not taking anything back. Medium easy this year, so I'm giving them a half game. I think they lost a game because of Nick Foles, especially. And, their linebacker that they lost, obviously, with Jordan Hicks. Golden Tate, their wide receiver. And I'm giving them a half game back for their draft and free agency. I thought, Malik Jackson should be all right. Deshaun Jackson should be good and stretch the field. Vinny Curry, and I love Andrews and Zendejo. So gave them a half game back for that. And so I came up with exactly 8.8 for their season win total. And Vegas' season win total is actually at 9.5. Vegas thinks that they're going to be better than the Cowboys. So they probably are the favorites to win that division. Now at 8.8, it's no play for me, but I suppose if I had to have a lean, it'd be under 9.5. Not touching it, the Eagles could be back. The Washington Redskins, Vegas win total is at 6. Schedule is medium at large games versus San Francisco and Carolina. Key losses, outside linebacker Preston Smith. Clinton Dix, he was borrowed from the Packers, went to the Bears. Jamison Crowder, the wide receiver. Offensive tackle Ty Nishke. And inside linebacker Zach Brown. Key additions, inside linebacker Reuben Foster from the Niners with all those head problems. Safety Landon Collins. That's an upgrade. Quarterback Case Keenum. And left tackle Eric Flowers, whom they drafted. Now this is the big thing right here. Dwayne Haskins at quarterback. Montez Sweat at edge rusher, outside linebacker. Terry McLaurin. Running back Bryce Love. Guard Wes Martin. Center Ross Pearsonbacher. Outside linebacker Cole Holcomb. Wide receiver Kelvin Harmon. And a couple other guys. The Redskins, they had an awesome draft. They mustered up 7 wins last year, getting most of them when healthy, and then all of a sudden they lost their whole offensive line and 3 quarterbacks to injury. I mean, Alex Smith, his injury was gruesome, and he's going to be out again this year most likely. His knee just pretty much broke in half. But, even when Colt McCoy came in, he got injured. They were on their 3rd and 4th string quarterbacks, okay? I think they even re-signed Rex Grossman or something. But Daniel Snyder and Bruce Allen, they succeeded in getting the best overall draft in the league, and that is unanimous among most of the NFL analysts because they didn't have to move up to land franchise quarterback Dwayne Haskins. They got him at what was it, 15, 13, something like that. And they got him 2 awesome targets in Terry McLaurin, former Buckeyes teammate of Haskins, and the underrated Kelvin Harmon. So I love how they got their edge rusher and they got their quarterback there. Fantastic draft overall. I love how they picked up Landon Collins. That's an upgrade. But they're still a little weak on the offensive line, a little weak on the wide receivers, with veterans anyway, and a little bit weak on the linebackers. But the Redskins' Pythagorean was actually pretty low last year at 5.29. I blame a lot of that on the injuries. I don't love their coach, Jay Gruden, but to be honest with you, my number, it's pretty high. And here's what it is. The Redskins, 7 wins last year. Pythag was 5.29, which brings them to 6.1 wins to work with. I give them 1.5 games back for losing their quarterback, their full offensive line, and a couple guys on defense as well. So I gave them a full game and a half back because that's how big losing your first string and second string quarterback is. Their schedule was medium last year. Their schedule is medium this year. Nothing there. I think from whom they lost, I took away a half game. But the draft was so good, and signing Landon Collins was so good that I'm giving them a game and a half back for who they drafted. Vegas has them at 6 wins. I have them at 8.6 wins in this division. Okay? 8.6. That's 2.6 games difference. I'm taking the over. Now, do I put a lot of trust in their coach? No, not really. But I absolutely love if Reuben Foster can keep his head straight. He's a great linebacker. Case Keenum, he knows how to win games. This team was rolling for a while. And they have Adrian Peterson. Oh, and Darius Geis. Their running back got injured in the preseason. Their first round pick, Darius Geis. So this team had a ton of bad luck last year, but I think they should be able to muster up at least 6 wins. So I definitely like this over. All right, next, and definitely least in this division, you have the New York Giants. Vegas win total is at 6 as well. Their at-large games are against Tampa Bay and Arizona. You definitely got to love the fact that they're playing Arizona and Tampa Bay. But their key losses, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., safety Landon Collins, defensive end Olivier Vernon, guard Jamon Brown, BJ Webb at corner, and defensive end Mario Edwards. They lost a ton. Whom they drafted, quarterback Daniel Jones. You remember that fiasco. Dexter Lawrence at defensive tackle. Love that one. Cornerback DeAndre Baker. O'Shane Simmons. Quarterback Julian Love. Inside linebacker Ryan Conley from the Badgers, which I don't actually like that much. I'm sorry, but I didn't think he was all that great on the Badgers. Wide receiver Darius Slayton and a few other guys. So they had a big draft, a lot of people. But when you look at Dave Gettleman, you say, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing drafting quarterback Daniel Jones when he was like 3rd or 4th on most people's draft boards as a top 6 pick? I can go on a rant forever about that. But I can also go on a rant about them signing Odell Beckham Jr. just to trade him a year later to take a $20 million cap hit. What the hell was that?
Oh, idiot.
Yeah, Dave Gettleman. That's why a lot of people gave them such bad draft grades, when they looked at the Giants. But here's the thing. And this is where you have to look past all this, hearsay from people and all the BS that spews out of their mouth. Even though they made some stupid decisions drafting, that doesn't mean that their draft was bad. Their draft actually was still pretty good. I mean, imagine if they selected Dexter Lawrence, which a lot of people had him as a top 5 pick before he was suspended in those Clemson games in the playoffs, and Daniel Jones. Imagine if they were flip-flopped. Who cares? This is where you got to see through all the clutter. Okay, I think that's very important here. I also love DeAndre Baker. Good cornerback there. Some great picks there. And with Darius Slayton, I think this draft actually turned out pretty well for them. You do not overreact just because he made a dumb decision. They still drafted a lot of good guys. But I hate who they lost. I hate that they lost Landon Collins. At least they replaced him with less expensive Antoine Bethia from the Cardinals. I think that's important. They also got Golden Tate, Marcus Golden, and guard Kevin Zeitler. So what the Giants missed out on was improving their offensive line and an edge rusher. So, they have a great defensive tackle, 3 technique, and Dexter Lawrence, but they don't have an edge guy necessarily. But the good news for the Giants is that they have the easiest at-large schedule, like I said, playing Tampa Bay and Arizona. So I actually have this team at 6.3 wins. They had 5 wins last year, but their Pythag was 6.67. They scored more points than that the wins and losses show, which gives them 5.8. They were pretty healthy last year, so I took out a half game for being over healthy. They had a medium, easy schedule last year. I took away a half game for that, and they have a very easy schedule this year. So I give them a game back. Their key losses, I give them -1, especially for the Landon Collins loss and Odell Beckham. But for their draft and free agency, I gave them a game back. So to be honest with you, I'm at 6.3. I actually probably lean to the over here. It's no play for me, and we killed it on the Giants last year under 8 wins. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Draft Saquon Barkley and you're supposed to be awesome. I mean, this is where you got to see through the clutter. Okay? I have them at 6.3 wins, though, so it's definitely not a play for me. As a matter of fact, I would lean to the over. But, the question is, when's Daniel Jones going to play? Is Eli Manning going to be protected enough? Does he have enough guys to throw the ball to? And, how long is it going to take for these young guys to gel? All right, and next we have the NFC West season win totals. So the NFC West has to play the NFC South and the AFC North, which isn't terrible this year, although it's not great for travel, right? Within the division, you think that the 49ers should improve. The Rams should regress a little bit, I think. Maybe. And the Seahawks are the Seahawks with Russell Wilson. And it's, he's just awesome. The Cardinals, they pretty much push the reset button. I think they'll have a bad start. Who knows how they'll finish. So the Rams, last year, they won 13 games. That was a lot. And their Vegas win total is 10.5. You'll never see a Vegas win total over 12, 13 games ever. It's just so hard to predict something like that. But either way, 10.5 is what we're working with. So the Rams schedule their at-large games are against Chicago and Dallas. Okay. And their key losses this year are safety LaMarcus Joyner, guard Roger Saffold, inside linebacker Mark Barron, and defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh. Key additions, edge rusher, outside linebacker Clay Matthews, safety Eric Weddle, and quarterback Blake Bortles, who they drafted. Safety Taylor Rapp, running back Darrell Henderson,